Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the conversation on OSTV Network. We're already 4 days into the month of May already. It's like the month is running really fast. Today is Tuesday. My name is Adesuwa Asui.
And my name is Merciful Ajinamo. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Adesuwa.
Good morning. I told you I like the way you introduce yourself.
Thank you. How are you doing?
You're welcome. Very well.
Good,
Thank you.
looking
How are you
all
doing?
sharp and everything.
Thank you.
Fine.
All right. Having said all of that, we're going to bring you the quote of the day right now. All right, some Tuesday morning motivation there for you from, Jim Ron. Okay, moving straight into development across Africa, starting from DR Congo, where the country has announced the end of the latest Ebola outbreak. Democratic Republic of Congo has declared an end to the latest Ebola outbreak that infected over 12 people in the eastern province of North Kivu and killed 6 of them. The aid group Medicine Sans Frontiers reveals that the outbreak was contained using Merck Ebola vaccine, which was given to more than 1,600 of the patients' contacts and contacts of contacts. The cases were genetically linked to the 2018 to 2020 Ebola epidemic that reportedly killed more than 2,200 people, the second highest toll recorded in the disease's outbreak. The latest flare-up emerged on February 3rd in the city of Butembo with the death of a woman whose husband had contacted the virus in the previous outbreak.
Well, this is a good one, very good one. I see like the vaccine given to contact of contact. And like, how far can they go?
It's just basically when you have a base, a contact base, you could trace who had met this person.
Well, that's some activity there if you ask me, because you're going to ask them, who have you had contact in the last 24 hours?
So it's contact tracing, which is very important in trying to curb, diseases and all of that.
It's very specific.
Especially a disease. Look, a disease like Ebola that spreads really fast and can be very deadly. I think I dare say Ebola is probably more deadlier than COVID-19.
I think both of them are deadly. I can't even rate any of them. I can't even rate,
because you see how fast it kind of just spread across DR Congo. So it was important that they did all of that contact tracing and all of that. And I'm very, very glad that
they've come to an end. We do pray COVID-19 comes to an end just the way, especially in Africa. All right, moving on to federal government in Nigeria here, where they are to return looted funds kept outside of the country. The federal government has declared its commitment towards the return of looted Nigerian assets kept outside the country. Dr. Umar Gwandu, Special Assistant on Media and Public Relations to the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, SAN, in a statement on Monday in Abuja, said any moment from now, Nigeria will get the return of the £4.2 million seized from the associate of convicted former governor of Delta State, James Ibori. Sometimes when a country transfers funds, it may take a little more time than expected due to some documentations. My office and other relevant government agencies will keep the public informed once the Ibori loot is received and confirmed, Umar Gwandu said. He said the federal government is in touch with the government of the United Kingdom on the matter.
It's the Ibori that caused controversy.
So much controversy.
So I hope it has been settled, though. I hope that they've come to some sort of agreement.
On how to spend the money and everything.
Yeah, what to do with the loot and everything. They're going to return it, or they're going to use it to make projects. So we don't come back to where we have to go over
back and forth again.
With it. And I hope we see what they do with the loot.
Transparency and accountability is what we're asking for, right?
Exactly. That's what we're asking for. Okay, moving over to Imo State here in Nigeria, where Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has declared that he will never and is not going to negotiate with criminals. The governor also said he will soon fish out those behind the anarchy and mayhem that happened in the state. Speaking after the service at Government House Chapel, Owerri, the state capital, on Sunday, the governor said the identities of the hoodlums, including their names, will be revealed in few days so they can face justice. According to him, security agencies have identified the mastermind of recent disturbances in the southeast state. I will never and not going to negotiate with criminals. Anyone involved in any form of criminality aimed at bringing down Imo State by any means should have a rethink, or such persons will have themselves to blame. Those out to bring the state down must be prepared to be brought down as well. That's Governor Hope Uzodinma saying that. I think I like how, you know,
some of the governors are now, especially in Governor of Kaduna State, Nigeria, now Hope Uzodinma.
Yes, being resilient about, look, there's no negotiation here.
It shows that they are very serious, right? In fact,
but I hope that they understand the implication of that. That
so it doesn't
the citizens
now
are going to
affect
bear
the lives
the brunt
of people.
Of it. So there's a balance. So they have measures put in place for ensure.
Technical measures.
Yes, they should, look. In as much as we're not negotiating with terrorists, we have measures in place to track those people, trace them, and ensure that the citizens, you know, of the state do not actually not at the receiving end of all of this. Because if people are kidnapped and you say you're not negotiating with terrorists,
they end up killing
and there's
them,
no means to actually secure their release.
I mean, that's it.
Exactly.
All right. Talking about still in Nigeria here, talking about the All Progressives Congress, the national leader Bola Tinubu has prayed that God will not allow Nigeria to experience war. Now, the former governor of Lagos State prayed on Sunday during the special Ramadan prayer tafsir for Lagos State and Nigeria held at the Lagos House Marina. Tinubu, who denounced the ongoing call for disintegration, said the country was better together than separated. He said Nigeria is yet to recover from the effect of the civil war, hence cannot afford to experience another war. He said the war drums some people were beaten would result in the disintegration of the country like Sudan and Iraq. I pretty much agree with him on this one.
Exactly.
You know, we've always been saying it's good that we do things as one body. Yes. So people saying, come, let's divide this country. To what end is what I'm always asking. Because if we're fighting these from a standpoint, you know, together, it will generate more result if you ask.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, it's just basically just understanding that we're all Nigerians. We have to be united as one. We can't be looking at, you know, tribalism, culture, religion, and all of that. We just have to look, we're Nigerian first before we're whatever Yoruba, Igbo, Ibanian, or whatever you are. So when we begin to see or understand that, then we'll begin to understand the importance of being united and then having to fight for one Nigeria and see how we can progress as a country. Because I know people that are clamoring for disintegration and war and all of that stuff. And my dad would tell me, it's people that have never experienced war or whatever that will clamor for it. Because if you've been there, you've seen it, and you see what happens, you would never pray for it again.
That's what Tinubu is saying. Like,
yes, exactly.
It's something that we should not hope for, because it's really something that you will not even want to
and not at
see,
this
right?
time. I mean, the world's moved past all of that, so we can't be looking forward all of that. Okay, it's about that time where we bring you COVID-19 updates from across Africa.
The OSTV Network mobile app is now available. You can now catch up on our breaking news, stream our programs live, watch out for the latest update on sports and politics as they unfold. You can also get notifications for our upcoming programs and events. All these on our OSTV Network mobile app, available on Apple Store and Google Play Store. OSTV News from Africa by Africans.
Being a journalist means in-depth analysis that unravels hidden truths, that question the status quo and fact-checks government.
These criminal elements hiding under the cloak of surveillance contractors are the APC elements.
Do you have facts to prove that? Being a journalist means waking up every day with a burning desire for peace, equity, and justice for all citizens.
We're being told that the choice you have is to take the lesser of two evils.
It means patriotism via the prism of objectivity and accountability. It means giving my platform to the masses to discuss issues that matter to them.
Some of them, if they bring budget, and the budget they look. Some of them sleep. They're going to ask how much we are on. I have it.
Thereby shaping government policies and laws. My name is Osasu Igbenegbu, and I am the People's Journalist.
Thank you for staying tuned to The Conversation, showing on your digital first Pan-African news network, 2S Television. And don't forget, you can always be a part of it by following us across all our social media platforms at OSTV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, you can live stream the content on our website, www.tostvnetwork.com. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, TOSTV Network. It's that time where we'll bring you some headlines from some major national dailies for this morning. And we'll begin with Blueprint newspaper. From the very top, federal government Microsoft digital transformation target, 27,000 jobs. And we have two riders. The first is 5 million Nigerians to access skills. The second, underserved communities to be internet connected. And then just underneath that, we see a journalist saying, why I returned missing $3,000 to owner. And that can be found on page 13. And Dangote Cement to pay 40.39 billion naira in corporate tax. That particular story can be found on page 25 of the Blueprint newspaper. The very conspicuous headline there says, I'm talking about insurgency. Bauchi on red alert as Gaydam residents relocate to 4 local governments. And we have a couple of riders underneath that story. The first, 19 killed in Benue. Stop grandstanding, collaborate with federal government. Thief youth tell Otom, that's the governor of Benue State. And upskill security personnel equipment. PDP urges federal government. Buhari OK's National Center for Control of Small Arms. That can be found on page 5 and page 6 of the Blueprint newspaper. The headline just underneath the picture of the day says, NDLEA raids eateries in Plateau. Enugu recovers drugged cakes, cocaine. And that can be found on page 22 of the Blueprint newspaper. I'm talking about World Press Day. 3 Nigerian journalists killed, 60 detained in 2020. Coming from editors, and that can be found on page 21. NOA shares unretired 2 billion naira cash to staff. That's coming from the Senate, and we can find that story on page 8 of the Blueprint newspaper. Blueprint's choice of stories not determined by sources' economic status, coming from Bamik Boye. And then the last headline is talking about from APC, our membership now 40 million nationwide. And that can be found on page 16 of the Blueprint newspaper.
Okay, away from the Blueprint newspaper to the Nigerian Pilot, starting from the very top as well. And this is on the issue of insecurity in Kaduna State. Bandits vow to kill remaining Greenfield Varsity students after collecting 55 million naira ransom. That's on page 5 of the Nigerian Pilot. And beside that one, on insurgency still, there's moles in the military. That's coming from Colonel Stan Labo, retired. And then to the very main headline there says 4 local government areas invaded. Governor Bala Mohammed raises alarm, says Boko Haram fighters invade 4 Bauchi local government areas. Says suspected terrorists infiltrated Zaki, Dambam, Darazo, and Gamawa. That terrorists came from Gaydam, Yobe State, recently captured by insurgents, assures that government is profiling people coming into Bauchi State to stem their plans. That you can find on page 8 of the Nigerian Pilot. And then just underneath the picture of the day, again, herdsmen kill 18 persons in Benue communities. Abductors of Kogi local government chair demand 100 million naira ransom. ATM transactions declined by 74 billion naira in Q4 2020. Judicial autonomy, governors must respect constitution. That's coming from the Nigerian Bar Station. And in AUGF's report, Senate faults NOA's 2 billion naira cash repayments to workers. UK to return 4.2 million pounds seized Ibori loads to federal government soon. That's coming from the AGF. And then the last headline on the Nigerian Pilot there says Microsoft moves to equip 5 million Nigerians with digital skills.
All right, we move over to the Daily Trust newspaper, beginning from the very top as always. Federal government creates center to check arms proliferation. And that can be found on page 7. Paying ransom to kidnappers forbidden, coming from Professor Makari. And the very obvious headline there is 5 months after bilateral talks, Nigerian shops remain shut in Ghana. We have 3 riders. The first, 40 more businesses closed. We're working with our people, coming from the federal government. We beg to feed. That's coming from traders, talking about their plight. Just beside the picture of the day there, we see PDP offers to help Buhari, demands creation of border patrol squads. And that can be found on page 27. NCAA lift Asman Air suspension 6 weeks after. And that can be found on page 14. And furore over killing of elephant in Ogun. Furore over killing of elephant in Ogun State. And that can be found on page 3 of the Daily Trust. Just under the picture of the day there, where we see a tanker, skidding across the other way. 23 killed in fresh Benue attacks. And the headline, the writer underneath that story says, banditry, terrorism, signs of government weakness, coming from the ex-governors.
And to the Daily Times, Warri Kingdom's missing crown, police recover keys to where items are kept. And then the main headline on the Daily Times newspaper this morning says, bandits threaten to kill 17 varsity students. That's on page 2 of the Daily Times. And then just underneath the picture of the day, why Lagos made U-turn on local government elections. Presidency, Anyam writes Buhari says Nigeria is slipping into anarchy. That's on page 3 and page 4 of the Daily Times respectively. And then the last one is on economy, and it says investors pledge $8.41 billion injection into Nigeria's economy. You can find that story on page 20 of the Daily Times.
Out of all of these stories, which has caught your attention the most?
I wouldn't know which one because they cut like a number. I'm just very saddened by the fact that the bandits in Kaduna State are saying that, look, despite the ransom, we're still going to kill these people if you don't add, money. I think they said they're requesting for 100 million now, and they got paid 55 million naira. And it's like, I just see why the governor is saying we can't negotiate with these people, because the more you negotiate, the more you hand over power to them. They feel like they have you, maybe at a grip, or they have you. They're at a better advantage, basically, so they can keep making requests. I mean, they have the people that you're looking to release, and then they have the money, so they can keep, blackmailing you into, paying money and all of that stuff. And what's to say you're even going to get these students alive anyways?
In cases like this, I really think we should explore all the options that we
exactly.
can. Just very recently there's been trending this Sheikh Gumi, who is a peace negotiator. He's been talking about the importance of negotiating with them so we can discover the root cause. Because according to him, anybody can change. So if you have that dialogue and everything, and I'm pretty sure, that many of these people, their families have been crying. Because you can have people who have been kidnapped and you're coming to say, oh, pay 100 million. And where are they going to get the money from?
Exactly. Look, I don't go on.
The bandits are saying they will still kill them. So the point is, to what end?
Exactly. I know you said Sheikh Gumi saying that they should negotiate with these people so you can, discover the root cause. Anybody can change. I'm not opposed to the fact that anybody can change. But when it comes to acts of terrorism, these are people that are doing stuff for a cause, sworn to do this for a cause. You cannot just they don't just turn around because you're negotiating and they come to tell you, okay, look, this is what it has been, this is what we're doing, and if you just give us this, it's gonna. I don't think it works like that, right? And I think that's why countries like the US will tell you we don't negotiate with terrorists. Do you understand? Because once you start negotiating,
national security.
Exactly. So once you start negotiating with them, it's like you're failed. It's like, oh, we have them at a grip right now, so they're paying attention to us, and this is what we're going to get. So that's why I said every measure should be explored, really. So if you want to negotiate, fine, but make sure you have like a plan A and a plan B.
And a plan B if
plan
it doesn't
Z,
work.
Just in case, the negotiations don't work. I mean, I saw a headline that says, banditry and negotiations, all of that is the failure of government. In as much as I don't want to agree, I do agree to an extent.
To an extent.
Yes, to an extent. Because if you start seeing anarchy, terror in the land, anarchy, lives are lost,
that means they're not doing
lost.
Something right.
Exactly.
Something is wrong somewhere.
There's a failure somewhere, and then we have to look at it and look at the root cause, trace it to the root cause, and just nip it. Really,
nip it in the bud.
Because it's sad.
Very
sad to see that these people were kidnapped from their school. I think 2 or 5 of them have been killed already, and then the government decides to pay ransom, and then you're saying,
and we're having
money.
It's like it's doubling across every other state.
Yes.
We have Bauchi, we have Niger State, and I'm like, come on,
it's going across.
Is it till they come to the federal capital city that we now know that this is something that we should really put all our eggs in one basket to make sure that everything is nipped in the bud?
I mean,
all right, that's the much you can take on the newspaper review segment of the show this morning. We'll go on a quick break now. When we return, This will be taking you through what's trending on social media. To stay.
Welcome back to the conversation on TOS Television Network, and it's about that time where I bring you what has been trending on social media in the last 24 hours. But before we get into all of that, you should be a part of the conversation. Follow TOS TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and also subscribe on YouTube so you do not miss out on amazing lineups that we have there for you. And also stream the conversation and other amazing content, on www.tostvnetwork.com. All right, back to what has been trending on social media in the last 24 hours. Now, if you've been on Twitter, or I think across all social media platforms yesterday, you'd have seen the hashtag Bill and Melinda Gates trending. And that's because, Bill Gates, as the co-founder and former CEO of Microsoft, and his wife, Melinda Gates, are announcing that they're splitting, announcing the end of their marriage of 27 years. Now, in the announcement, made simultaneously with identical messages shared on both their Twitter handles, the couple noted that they will keep working together on philanthropic efforts which have addressed education, gender equality, and healthcare, as well as give away more than half their wealth while working together on charitable efforts. Now, quite a number of reactions have trailed this announcement that Bill and Melinda Gates are separating after 27 years. Okay, and I'm going to read out a few tweets to that regard for you. The first tweet says, "We no longer believe we can grow together as a couple in this next phase of our lives. This is the great lie of amicable divorce. We grow as adults by holding fast to our promises and fighting for our spouses and marriage, not by abandoning them." And then the next tweet is from John Fogelin, and it says, "If Bill and Melinda Gates can't keep the sex hot, what hope is there for the rest of us?" And then the next is from at Holdmile, "Melinda Gates after the divorce." That's saying that she's going to be richer after the separation and all of that stuff. And then the last tweet is saying, "I don't care about Bill and Melinda Gates' relationship problems. I would much prefer an announcement that they've decided to leave us all the F alone." What do you think about this?
Okay, first of all, we have so much expectations from people who are in prominent, spaces and positions and everything, but we should realize that these people have their lives to live. They know what they're faced with daily. They know how the relationship has been for them. So people should not be all over, "Come on, why are you guys creating what's happening? You're supposed to look at this together." They have been there. I mean, people that have been in a relationship for 27 years.
That's the thing.
They have been working together. So the question, you really do not have a question, is their life here? Because if you do have a question, the question, what happened?
Exactly.
Have you been fighting? What's been happening? So I think we should, in as much as it's important as, couples to hold firm, stand, especially if they have really done a lot and the world is watching them in a place, people look up to you as, role models and everything. You're supposed to make sure, not just for yourself, live for people as well. It's very important. But still, people know what they're facing and we should leave them to their choices. I
understand leaving people to their choices. I understand everything they're saying, and I think I agree. But 27 years together and having to work together on so many projects. I mean, they own Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They've done charitable projects in the world. Yes, they have charitable projects everywhere, even in Africa and Nigeria. Even in Nigeria, basically. They cut across all sectors, and they're always in our faces, having to do stuff together. They have kids together, And then so what happens? And they're saying we don't see each other grow. We don't see grow together. In the next phase. What phase are you talking about?
the good side of all of this is
about?
they are still going to, the foundation is still going to keep still
Running.
standing and everything, so they'll still be working together and everything, but still,
but you
like
don't
what
think
you said,
it's going to be
growing
affected?
together. People asking what other growth are you looking for? I mean,
What
to us,
phase?
this is growth. If you're defining what growth is, you look at Bill Gates and Melinda, you say, look, they have grown. I mean, so
it's like in the next phase of our life. Where is the next phase of your life? Where are you guys going now? You can't
really
go
funny.
together at
Serious
this point.
and funny at the same
I
time.
mean, I just hope, whatever it is. I mean, I think the baseline is people just be happy, right? Whatever makes you happy. So if being together doesn't make them happy anymore, so I think it's okay to let each other go.
Now we're on the same side.
Yes, exactly. Okay, that's it for what's trending on social media here on TOS Television Network. That's on the conversation on TOS Television Network. We're going to go on a break now. And when we return, we'll be taking you on the big story.
A big thank you for staying tuned to the conversation showing on your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television. Don't forget, you can always be a part of it by joining our social media community and following us on all our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at TOSTV Network, and also our website www.tostvnetwork.com to live stream all our programs. Also, don't forget to follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, OSTV Network, so you do not miss out on our amazing lineup of content. It's that time we'll bring you the crux of the conversation, the big story, talking about digital marketing and how we can leverage on it, for businesses in Nigeria. Today on the show, we talk to a digital marketer and a social media strategist, Ogberaha Michel. You're welcome to the show, Mr. Michel.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good. How are you doing?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Good. First of all, let us demystify the concept of digital marketing. What is it about?
Okay, basically, digital marketing is the new order. It's just like the opposite of traditional marketing. It's like taking marketing onto the internet space. That is basically what it is.
Okay.
So marketing is just like what every other business do. What we've been doing before now, traditional marketing, newspaper, advertising your products on the newspaper, on the radio. But now we are no longer using the traditional means. Now we are marketing our businesses on the internet, basically.
So how far do you think we've come in terms of Nigerians, small business owners using digital marketing? Would you want to rate us?
Well, in Nigeria, I would say we are really lagging behind. Like there is still a lot, like a whole lot to do when it comes to digital marketing in Nigeria. I mean, the world is like 10 times ahead of us, and then we are just trying to catch up with the pace. I mean, digital marketing came into Nigeria in about 2014. It started crawling up in 2014, 2015, but it has been already in the game for a long time in the Western world. But then we are still catching up. But then it's really slow in Nigeria. It's really slow.
Okay, so basically, how can small businesses or medium-scale businesses leverage on digital marketing to help boost their business or maybe visibility even? Because as you said, we're lagging behind. It's like we still haven't caught up with it. So how can we begin to leverage use as businesses to boost sales and visibility and all of that?
Okay, firstly, for every business owner, I think the first thing you have to do is to get on social media.
Okay.
I think that is like the first step you have to take to even talk about digital marketing at all. At least you need to have an Instagram handle, depending on the kind of business you're running. If it's a business to business, if it's a business to consumer, every business has the social media they perform best.
Okay.
So you first have a social media handle. It could be Instagram, Facebook, but majorly Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Okay.
And then if you're professional, LinkedIn. And after you have that, then you start talking about how to leverage. The first is awareness, creating awareness for your brand on the social space. And then after you do that, then you now start talking about targeting your audience. But first, the first step is to have a business page on social media.
Well, is there some skill sets that they're supposed to learn? Because I know not a lot of people even know how to go about, getting visibility on social media, all of that stuff. Is there a skill set that you have to learn if you don't want to employ someone to help you do it?
Okay. The first thing you have to do, you have to know how to design graphics. I mean, the barest minimum graphic design. Because digital marketing is actually branding. Branding how you put yourself. Because if you are selling, let's say, if you are selling bags, for example, and you go on Instagram, there are millions of people who sell bags, like millions of vendors on Instagram who sell bags already. So you think of how to stand out. And one of the key ways to stand out is to have a perfect branding, like to brand yourself.
All right. Do you think, talking about comparing and contrasting the conventional marketing technique and digital marketing, do you think digital marketing has come to take over the conventional marketing style, or do you think they're supposed to work hand in hand?
Are you there?
Hello.
Mr. Michelle,
They are making it it's like the algorithm is becoming more difficult. So much that if you don't run sponsored ads, no one will see what you are selling. Like, you have 10,000 followers, and then you post something, let's say on Instagram, you post something, and then you check your insights, and just about 100 people have seen it, right?
Yeah.
So it's really difficult. It's getting difficult. Like, Instagram wants everyone to run sponsored ads. So another very important skill set, like the most important skill set right now, is to learn how to run a sponsored ad. And that is very simple.
Okay.
Just go on YouTube and search for how to run a sponsored ad. You'll see thousands of videos that will teach you on how to run a sponsored ad. Facebook sponsored ad, Instagram sponsored ads, Google ads, even as that. That is like the second most important, or even the most important.
All right. I think we missed some things you said, but I was taking us to, the conventional marketing style and technique, and, comparing and contrasting it with digital marketing. Do you think digital marketing has come to take over the conventional marketing, or are they supposed to work hand in hand, and how?
Okay. It has been a very controversial discussion, but really from experience, I would say they have to work hand in hand. Like, you really can't take out traditional marketing. There is no way you can take it out. I mean, the newspaper is still there. Talking about Nigeria, all over the world, newspaper is still making hits back to back. Radio is still there making hits back to back. And there are some particular products that traditional marketing will even work better than social media.
Oh, really?
Take, for example, a product for the aged, people 65 and above.
Oh, yeah, true.
Not millennials like us, but people who were born, let's say, 1960, and who are just learning to even navigate around Facebook. I mean, they are used to the radio. They are used to the newspaper. I mean, when you are trying to pass an information to those people, you won't go on Instagram, you won't go on Facebook.
True.
Where you want to go is the newspaper, is the radio, is the local television, the local channels on the television. So you can't take out traditional marketing. Even in the Western world, they still can't. I mean, Coca-Cola is still doing their adverts on TV. They still have adverts on newspapers. You still hear campaigns on radio, so you can't take it out, really. All
right. So basically, you're saying that it's a hand-in-hand thing, digital marketing and then traditional, marketing method. You just work side by side.
Yes. they work hand in hand.
All right. When we begin from our conversation so far, you said Nigeria as a country, we're kind of lagging behind. So when we begin to leverage on digital marketing at small and medium scale enterprises, do you think the inflation rate will be reduced?
Sorry, can you come again? Do I think
Now, we're talking about inflation rate, increasing 18%, 22%,
yes.
price of everything is increasing. If the small and medium scale enterprises, also large businesses, start to leverage on digital marketing and social media marketing, do you think the inflation rate will be reduced?
Oh, drastically it will reduce. Now, when I say Nigeria is lagging behind, there are great innovations right now that is just trying to crawl in and people still don't understand in Nigeria in digital marketing, right? And one of them is artificial intelligence. Like it's still very new to Nigeria. Artificial intelligence marketing. Like a lot of digital marketers in Nigeria are just learning about it, right? And that is like one very major thing people are using around for customer care. People are using it for customer care. People are using it for a lot of things, for basic communication, product recommendation, even email personalization. Like this is a very new trend, a very new innovation that is coming into the digital marketing space. But if business owners, if digital marketers who handle marketing for businesses, if we learn all of these trends, if we are able to stay abreast, I think the inflation should reduce. It should reduce.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Michel, for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure. A very insightful conversation, I must say. Thank you so much. We hope to do this some other time. All right.
Thank you very much.
Have you really learned anything so far?
Yes, I have actually, because I know that there's a lot that we still have to learn. Because as it did say, we still have a long way to go. Having to learn about digital marketing, digitalizing our business.
And I think every Nigerian, they are prospective business owners.
Yeah, it's true. Nigerians, I think Nigeria. Even if you have a day job, there's always have a business
one small
on the side.
Business aside.
Something I'm doing. So having to digitalize it is going to help boost the business, especially because I think as a business owner, you shouldn't even be looking at just your circle or just your small community. You want to go global with it and all of that stuff. And then just digitalizing your business, gives you that visibility and helps you, grow with it. So I think, I just hope that, small businesses, medium scale businesses can leverage on digital aspect of marketing and sales and all of that to actually just grow the business. There's a lot we need to learn. I think I need to learn a lot about
definitely.
We'll do all of that as we progress.
Wow. All right. Thank you. It's been an amazing journey on the conversation this morning. I hope you have been informed, educated, and entertained as well. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget you can always be a part of it by following us across all our social media platforms and also watching the program live on the website, www.tostvnetwork.com. I am Merciful Ajinamo.
And I am Adesiwa Osuyi. Good morning and thank you for watching.